in the big D. Add in the humidity, and that pushes the heat index even higher. So we've got a heat advisory till 8 tonight. If you don't have to be out in the sun, you might want to skip it. Dallas, obviously quiet for now, but even overnight, we are not seeing those temperatures fall too much. So you're still dealing with the warmth. You're just not able to cool down efficiently when those overnight temperatures are staying as elevated as, not as elevated as the daytime temperatures, but are still staying elevated relative to the daytime temperatures. You can see our excessive heat warning across portions of Nebraska and South Dakota, and a heat advisory for much of the central portions of the country where we've got that humidity. We've got the temperatures that are already hot. We talked about Dallas a bit. 20 straight days of at least 100 degrees. That doesn't tie the record of 42 or even get close to it, but I bet you're probably tired of the heat at this point. In San Angelo, we've had 32 days at least 100 degrees, consecutive days, so that beat the old record of 30. So this just puts into perspective how long that heat has been sticking around and how stifling it can be. High temperatures from Texas up through Kansas, Oklahoma in the upper 90s and triple digits, but that doesn't tell the whole story. You've got to factor in the humidity to see what it's going to feel like, which means it's going to feel even hotter than this. Denver, triple digits for you. Pierre, 104 is your forecast. This is dangerous heat, guys. This is the type of heat that you can get heat stroke, heat exhaustion if you're out and you're not taking care of yourself. Denver, we could set a new record today. Same thing in Valentine. The forecast 104. You're going to be sweating it out. The old record also 104. And dew points this afternoon, they're not giving us any help, with the exception of, say, maybe Dallas or Midland. Dallas, that 62-degree dew point is going to feel very good compared to some of the 70-degree dew points you've had recently. Across the southeast, those temperatures are going to be pretty balmy, pretty hot as well. Upper 80s for places like Atlanta. So it's like where we're not getting the storms, Jordan, we've got this heat that just won't go away.
Yes, and both of which
did make things kind of go along. Okay, let's talk about it. If you're waking up in Dallas, what sound effect would it be for it feels like 87 degrees right now? Wah, wah, wah. I think that's the sound effect for Dallas because you guys just can't get out of this heat. A beautiful start to the morning, but it is certainly feeling very muggy. You're feeling that heat, and it's not just you. We've got this heat that's been sticking around for quite some time. Let's take a look at where we've got heat alerts today, heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. That excessive heat warning in the bright pink, that is for portions of Nebraska up through South Dakota, and then everywhere shaded in red, you've got the heat advisory. Of course, the excessive heat warning being a level up from the heat advisory, but regardless, you get these heat alerts for reasons, and that is because it is dangerous heat. In Dallas, as mentioned, it's already warm this morning, and you're going to have those triple digits through the next several days. Your current streak, 20 days of 100 degrees or better, and the old record 42. You're probably like, that is not a record that we want at all to break. College Station at 20, meanwhile San Angelo at 32 consecutive days at 100 degrees or hotter, and that breaks the old record of 30. So you can see just how long this heat has been sticking around. The forecast for today, the actual temperatures in the upper 90s and triple digits for the southern plains. The northern plains, Pierre, 105. That's your forecast for today. North Platte, 102. Potential record highs for cities like Denver, but it's not just the actual temperatures, it's what it feels like. When you factor in this humidity, a dew point of 74 in Memphis, that is that type of air where you just cannot cool off, and that's what makes it dangerous. Jordan?
Yeah, we tell people to head in
the sun, no question. There's not even a question for me. The rain gets in the way of everything. It was like torrential downpouring in Atlanta the other day, and all I wanted was my cup of coffee from the drive-thru, and you couldn't even order because it was raining so hard. First world problems. Let's talk about some of the problems you might run into if you're traveling with our plane. There we go. Lots of green bubbles on the map right now, and that is good news, but it is not going to stay that way, guys. We are going to see that possibility for delays mounting up as we move through the day today. When you have major hubs like D.C., like Atlanta, down into Tampa, Houston, all of these large cities seeing that risk for those summer pop-up storms, you get a misplaced storm right over the airport at the wrong time, and you're seeing those delays mount pretty quickly. So just pack your patience. Know that you could be dealing with that possibility for some delays on the flight side, but also on the road side as well. We've got flash flooding ongoing. Kentucky, you guys just cannot catch a break. It's Western Kentucky where we're getting the center of this flash flooding ongoing now, but not just Kentucky, Southern Illinois, a flash flood warning ongoing there. And you see that it's like this little storm just bubbled up and it's just sitting there. And that's what causes part of the problems. We've seen several inches of rain already there in western Kentucky, and flash flooding is ongoing. For the Ohio River Valley, scattered storms continuing, and that, of course, could lead to more flooding as the atmosphere has a ton of juice to work with, and that ground is already saturated. Steph, the last thing we need in this region is more rain.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
is, especially in